So in part one of this video, we're going to be looking at a really cost-effective ESP32 board which can be used to convert your old alarm system onto ESPHome with Home Assistant and Alarmo. So let's have a look. So recently, as I was trolling AliExpress, I came across this really great offer for this 16-channel Ethernet relay ESPHome development board. So this product is manufactured by Kinkani. You might have seen some of my previous videos trying out a few of their devices. Overall, very impressed with the quality of these devices, but also the shipping time, literally 7 to 10 days here in New Zealand. So what does this board include? First of all, it's got an ESP32 W-Room chip on there, which has got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and 4 megs of EEPROM. Then we've got 16 digital opto-isolated inputs or dry contacts, 4 analog inputs, 0 to 5 volts, 16 MOSFET outputs. So these can drive 12 to 24 relays. They're not AC controls. You've also got 3 connections for temperature or other sensors. You can include a 433 receiver transmitter module if you want. It's got an RS485 interface, I2C connector. It's got an Ethernet plug, USB-C, and it's powered by 12 volts. So having a look at this board, there are other options available. There's an A4 and an A8 which does have the relays included, but this one doesn't have the relays. So they do sell this add-on board that you can order along with this device to convert those couplers onto a 240 or 120 volt AC 16 relays if you're wanting to control AC with this device. But I think there's all sorts of things you can do without even controlling AC. So this either comes as a separate board, a raw board like what I've got, or you can order this casing along with it, which looks like it'll protect it really well. Now, one of the use cases immediately came to my mind when I saw this device was if you've got one of those old alarm systems where you've got wired in door and window sensors and also your PIR sensors, you could hook up to 16 inputs here and create your own alarm system within Home Assistant. And there would be lots of other uses for this board. So looking at the layout of this board, what I really like is that they have these removable screw block terminals, which makes it really easy to connect anything to. You don't have to mess around with soldering or anything like that. So having a look at the way this board is made up, we've got the power management over here, and this is giving us from the 12 volts creating a 3.3 and a 5 volt signal for the devices on this board. We've got the ESP32 chip over there. We've got some controls. We've got a reset and a download button, and also the USB-C connector for the ESP32. Then if we scroll down further, we've got these 16 dry contact inputs over there, and we've also got this 4 analog signals. So for example, any device that is providing an output of 0 to 5 volts, for example, I had that water tank measuring device which was giving me a 0 to 5 volt signal. I could bring that in over here, which is really, really useful. Then they've got the outputs, so it's 16 of these outputs, and each one has got a little LED so you can see the status of the device there. Now, one thing that's really important when you wire this up, I wasn't aware at first, but you need to provide 12 volts there, but you also need to provide positive 12 volts to these 2 connectors for these relays to operate. So I found this Kinkani ESPHome page. All I did was went along and copied the code from here. Next up, I opened ESPHome Builder, created a new device. We'll call it A16. Next, and we'll skip connecting for a moment. It's an ESP32 board, so we'll select that, and we'll skip the install for now. So now what we do is we go along and we edit our code over here. So the way I do this is I go down the bottom here, make sure it's lined up, paste all of the code in there. And now I just need to see what we need to swap out here. So first of all, I want to take my API code over here and my OTA code. We're just going to copy those two, and I'm going to replace that. We've got the ESP, the Wi-Fi. Oh, here it is over here. So we go and we paste that in over there. And other than that, I don't think we need much else. We don't need this. We don't need that. No, we can get rid of all of this. So we just delete that. And then the only other thing that I did need to receive or to remove was it doesn't seem to like the fact that this device tries to connect both to Wi-Fi and also to your Ethernet. So I'm going to run this on Wi-Fi for now. So I'm going to remove the Ethernet component because that was giving me an error. So we'll just find that Ethernet component. There it is over there. And we'll just remove that as well. We go save, and now we can install this to our device. So we go install, we select plugged into this computer. We make sure that we've got our USB-C cable, which has got data running through it. Make sure it's not one of the cables that only carries power. And then we use our USB serial COM3 port here, which is paired. We go connect. So once that's finished loading, we can see here that we've got a device that's been discovered in ESPHome. So we click the add button. You can see it's been discovered, and we just go and set that up, finish. We select an area, and now we can open the device up within ESPHome. There it is over there. So you can see here that we've got our 16 relays that we can turn on and off. These are the binary input sensors. And as you can see, I've gone and grounded one of these between the ground and the input, and that is now showing as on. In order to read the analog digital voltage input, I inputted a line here called sensor, platform, ADC. I selected the pin 36, called it input voltage, and gave it an interval update of 60 seconds. When connecting a battery across the ground and input number 1, you can see I'm reading 1.06 volt. When I tested this with my voltmeter, it was actually coming out at 1.32 volts. In order to read temperature and humidity, I set a DHT22 temperature humidity sensor. I connected that in, and I uploaded this little piece of code onto the board. So in order to do the temperature, you need to select either GPIO 14, 33, or 32, depending on which of these GPIO terminals 1, 2, or 3 that are written on the board you select. Once it's uploaded into Home Assistant, you can see here that it's pulling my temperature and my humidity in. The other inputs that we have on this board, we have the I2C over here. So you could easily connect up a MHZ19 CO2 sensor, for example, over here. The board that I got even had a header plug over here, which made it even easier. If you want to run an RF transmitter or an RF receiver or 433 megahertz, you can use these connectors over here. And if you're wanting to connect via RS485, you can do over here. So in part 2 of this video, we'll go through setting up Alarmo and showing you how you can link all of these sensors into Alarmo and building yourself the perfect 2025 Home Assistant Alarmo alarm system. That's all for now. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.